Great. So yes, Bernie just reminded me this is the last class of the year, which is yeah, kind of just slipped my awareness there. So that's quite exciting. And yeah, we have the solstice coming up, the winter solstice, which for me feels like the turning of the year because it's with nature's calendar, very close to Christmas. The 21st. So we're close to that. So the energy of this time of year is just before the solstice is really, we're in that darkest time of the year, and the longest night. So it's really good time of year to really go inwards and almost to go into our kind of shadow, the dark bits in us, just have that courage to really dive deep within so that we can follow the energy of nature, which is the lights coming back from Thursday onwards. And we can, in this dark, I mean, the dark doesn't need to be scary dark, it's that like fertile womb-like space where creation happens, like in the womb. So we can plant our seeds of intention into our womb space at this time of year to bring them through as the light returns. So that was my kind of flavor and theme for this evening. Just a real going inwards. So almost doesn't matter what we're doing with our body, what shapes we're making. It's more about where we're putting our awareness as we move through our sequence this evening. So really trying to stay internal as best we can. Okay, so that's my invitation, just to follow the energy of this time of the year. So let's start in Shavasana, in our corpse pose, and just really take a moment to drop in. So just get yourself comfortable. And close the eyes so that we actually create darkness for ourselves. Just for a moment, just shutting the light out. And closing the eyes, a conscious closing of the eyes can assist us in bringing our awareness internal. Welcome Linda. We just started, we're in Shavasana. And our theme for this evening is following nature's energy just before the winter solstice of going deeply inwards. So first of all, just noticing where in the body feels tight and tense, perhaps a gripping feeling, perhaps a response to the stresses of the day or the stresses of your life at this moment, at this time. Where are you holding that in your body? Just give yourself permission to let go of what is able to be released. Feel your limbs, your legs and your arms becoming heavy. Release your jaw, soften the eyes. Feel the weight of your head dropping into the floor. Just kind of have this feeling almost like we're a dead weight, like a corpse or a sack of potatoes, that kind of real heavy, weighty, immovable quality to the body. And then bring your awareness to your belly and notice the breath moving the belly. And even start to accentuate that belly movement with the breath. And deep belly breathing. Almost like for now that you're mostly just moving the belly with the breath. We'll develop it in a moment. Just re-accentuating the belly movement of the breath. Then we're going to start to develop that. So starting with that belly movement, feel the breath develop and move up to the mid chest and the rib cage and the upper chest. So belly, rib cage, chest, all inflating and exhaling from the top to the bottom, drawing inwards again. Belly expands, rib cage expands, chest expands as we inhale, and then chest sinks, rib cage deflates, the lungs deflate, and belly draws in. It's almost like a three-part breath, but completely smoothly running into each other. So it's just one smooth expansion and contraction with the breath. And then next time you inhale, when the chest expands, just hold. So we're at full expansion and just hold for a few seconds, just whatever's comfortable. And then when you need to, just release completely again, feeling the chest deflate, the rib cage draw in, the belly draw in. And just do that a couple more times, just a full three-part inhale that's smooth, holding at the top of the inhale for a few seconds with everything at full expansion, belly, ribcage, chest, and then letting it go when you need, feeling the chest sink, ribcage draw in, belly draw in. And then at the end of your next exhale, just take a full body stretch. Just reach the arms overhead, bring the legs together, stretch through the feet, pointing the toes and then flexing the toes to stretch into the back of the heels, the ankles, the calves. Flex and point. And then we're just going to move with the breath. So one breath, one movement. So full stretch, we inhale. As you exhale, you're drawing your right knee into the chest, taking the hands forward and drawing it in. And then the inhale, we extend again fully. Exhale, left knee comes in. So just gently starting to bring rhythmic movement, keeping that going. Inhale, extend. Exhale, right knee. Maybe feeling that there's a little bit more space each round. Keep it going, side to side, following your breath. Just allow yourself to follow the natural rhythm of your breath here, but try to let the movements be breath-led. So it's the inhale or the exhale that initiates the movement, and the movement ideally completes just at the peak of either the inhale or the exhale. So we really use this as a mindfulness exercise of synchronizing breath and movement. Notice if one side is tighter than the other. Maybe the knee is more easily towards the chest on one side than the other. Next time you come to the right, I'm going to pause. So drawing that right knee into the chest when you get there, just pause, holding it in, circling the right ankle. You can always bend the left knee if it's tight on your lower back to extend. And change your foot circles. And then release. So take that full inhale, extension. Exhale, left knee in. And again, this time pause. Bending the right knee if you need. Circling the left ankle, trying to isolate the movement just into that ankle joint, not the knee. Change direction. And then let's bring the right knee to join the left and either hug the front of the knees or the back of the knees. And just feel what feels good. Maybe just to be still feels really good. Or maybe you just feel like you want to do a very gentle rock side to side. Or maybe a bigger rock or circles. So just intuit what's best for your body. Either way, just staying connected to breath. Slow, deep breaths. And just remembering the intention of this evening's class, which is to keep our awareness internal. So if you feel your mind trying to pull you out of the present moment awareness, the sensations of the body, the breath, just as many times as you need, bring it back, bring it inwards, connect to your breath. The very act of noticing our breath brings us inwards. I'm going to start to move rhythmically again. So you can squeeze a block between the thighs here if you want to make this a little bit more of a core activation, or just squeeze the thighs against each other, inner thighs. Flex the feet, take the arms either out to the side in line with the shoulders, or cactus arms with that right angle at the elbows, and the arms facing up, elbows in line with shoulders. And we're going to try and keep that upper back glued to the floor and just twisting the lower back. So inhale at the center and exhale, take the knees over to the right, keeping the left shoulder down, and inhale back to the center and exhale, knees over to the left. And again, we're just going to do this for quite a few rounds, so don't force it. Let your body show you how far it wants to go, because it will open up with the repetition. So gradually you'll be able to go a little bit further, but we don't need to force. Be body led. Again, be breath led. Synchronize the breath and the movement. The inhales drawing you back to the center. Exhale out to the side. So upper back, shoulder blades, ideally staying connected to the floor. Inner thighs, either touching or squeezing the block. Have a sense of using your deep core muscles to assist this movement rather than momentum. Deep core intelligence. When we connect with our deep core muscles, this is another way of bringing us inwards. A moving meditation. And next time you come up from the left, come back to the center and take happy baby. So if it's too much to hold the feet at this stage of the class, hold the backs of the knees or the ankles. Don't force, but knees are coming wide. And see if we can kind of press the sacrum towards the floor here. And that probably is going to make the feet go higher, the knees go higher. So if we need to change our grip, then do so. But see if you can feel that sacrum pressing down rather than curling up away from the floor. There's different ways of doing this posture. And then bringing the soles of the feet together, bringing the knees together. Just one more stretch before we come off our back. Stretch the legs out again. Take the arms overhead. And we're going to slide the right foot until it's just off the mat to the right, and then let the left foot join it and flex the feet. You can either stay here, pressing the inner edges of the feet together, or hook the left ankle on top of the right ankle with the feet flexed. And then we use our head to press down and lift up the shoulders and shuffle the torso over to the right, keeping the left buttock down on the floor and the left shoulder blade down on the floor. And then you can hold the opposite elbow over the head, or you can use your right hand to gently pull on your left wrist over to the right, or just stretch the arms out. Just whatever feels good for you here. But try to feel like you're anchored down through the sacrum, so that left buttock's not lifting. And again, that the upper back is glued to the mat. Hopefully, you feel this as a stretch down your left side, from the left ankle to the left elbow or fingertips. Breathe into that left side. If you can't resist your left buttock lifting, then you've just gone a bit far. Just come back a bit so you can get the left buttock and shoulder blade down. So your belly button's facing up towards the ceiling, your pubic button's facing up towards the ceiling, your chest is. And one more deep breath into the left side. And then unhooking the left foot, bring the right foot to join it in the center of the mat. Walk your torso back to the center. Just check you're centrally aligned, so take a full body stretch in the center, and then slide your left foot till it's off the mat to the left. And again, you can just flex the feet and press the inner edges of the feet together and keep them together like that, or cross the right ankle on top of the left with the feet flexed. Walk your torso over to the left. And do whatever you did with your arms, do the same on this side. So maybe your left wrist now is gently tractioning the right side by gently pulling the right wrist over to the left, or opposite elbows. Arms overhead. Again, just do that little checklist that the sacrum is anchored, the shoulder blades are anchored, your pubic bone, your navel, and your chest are more or less facing up towards the ceiling. Breathe into that right side. Energizing breaths. And then bringing the right foot to the center of the mat, let the left foot join it, walk the torso over to the middle, take one more full body stretch. And then just hug the knees into the chest just for a moment. We're going to roll to one side and press ourselves up to seated. We just come to seated. We're just going to pause before we move again. Just take a moment of just a moment's pause here seated. You could have the hands in the lap or on your knees, whatever's comfortable. But again, just consciously close the eyes and come into that darkness space. Maybe you want to take a mudra here, Yanana mudra, where you touch the first finger to the thumb and extend the other three fingers with the palms up or down for chin mudra. For any just comfortable position. But come to what feels like a meditation seat, so the spine is free. And just before we continue with the class, with the movement part of the class, just taking a pause of stillness, coming inwards, and just in this moment, reflecting on the last turning of the nature cycle from the winter solstice to the winter solstice. So more or less Christmas, but just before. Just briefly scan back through the year that you've had, the highs, the lows, whatever comes to mind. We don't have to be comprehensive here. We're just doing a moment of reflection. What was difficult? What did we learn? What did we learn about ourselves? How did we grow? How were we challenged? And how did we overcome those challenges? Or did we? Do they still remain challenges? Just being super honest with ourselves. What did we discover about ourselves? Just allowing whatever arises, whatever memories and feelings and thoughts arise, to just be with those. Just trust that that's what's meant to arise in this moment. And then let's just bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra, which is the palms together, the chest, which is a symbol of gratitude amongst other things. So just bowing our head to our hands in gratitude to the year that has passed, the turning of the cycle, the seasons, and all that it brought to us. Blessing the gift of life. And we'll take that into our practice, and at the end we'll just do another little reflection, which is more about going forward. And so just when you're ready, we're just going to release the hands to the side, lean into your left hand, take a big inhale to stretch up through the right side, and exhale, stretch over. So again, coming into that side body opening here. And keeping that awareness internal. Maybe the flavors of the year that's past or nearly past stay with you for this practice. Kind of swirling around us, breathing into any emotions that come up, for thoughts, feelings, sensations. Inhale back to the center, bringing the right hand down as you exhale. And then on your next inhale, take a big stretch up through the left side, exhaling over to the right. Keeping the buttocks on the floor, always trying to feel that sense of anchoredness, groundedness. evenness, and left side of the pelvis is pressing down as much as the right. And inhale back to the center, walking the hands forward, listening to your knees, dropping the head, and just breathing into the back of the body for a moment here. Opening up the lower back, the mid back, the upper back with your breath. And then walking the hands back in, bringing them behind you, lean into the hands, so they're a few centimeters behind the buttocks. Lift the chest, slightly looking up, keep the buttocks on the floor. Take your breath into the upper chest. You can keep the chin tucked in if that's more comfortable for you. And then as you inhale, keep the fingers down for as long as possible so we stretch the finger joint. So you kind of peel the wrist off and the fingertips stay down till the very last moment, feeling a stretch in the fingers. And then interlace your hands behind you. Inhale, lift up. Try not to overarch in the lower back. Maybe slightly lifting the chin. Again, we're breathing into the front of the chest here, and front of the body, chest, rib cage, release. Bring the hands in front, cross the left arm on top of the right, and either hold your opposite shoulder, dropping the head, or wrapping the forearms into Garudasana arms, lifting the elbows in line with the shoulders, pressing the hands forward. If you're in Garudasana, the chin stays lifted. If you're holding your opposite shoulder, you're dropping the chin. Again, try not to overarch in the lower back. If you're in Garudasana, just take the elbows over to the right for a moment to look over your left shoulder. Getting a little bit of a twist in here. And return to the middle, release, move the arms and the shoulders if you need. And then stretching the arms wide, bring the right arm on top of the left and either hug opposite shoulder, drawing the chin down, or again, wrapping the forearms and the hands into Garudasana arms. Chin lifts, we're in eagle arms. Breathing deep into the upper back. And again, those in eagle, just take the elbows over to the left and look over your right shoulder. Just for another few breaths here. And back to the center, release, ease it all out. Come onto your hands and knees. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Just take a few cat-cows. Again, mindfulness opportunity for synchronizing breath and movement. Exhaling into the cat. Inhaling into the cow. Enjoy that feeling of mobilizing your spine, maybe after a challenging day or a sedentary day. Either way, if it's been physically demanding or sedentary, this should feel good. And at the end of your next exhale, coming to neutral spine, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward dog. And if you want to walk out this first downward dog to really stretch into the lower calf and the Achilles heel, then just lifting one heel high, we press the other one down. And feel quite a lovely stretch in the lower part of the leg that often gets neglected when we stretch. And then when you're ready, just pressing both heels down towards the floor, spreading the fingers, active hands, active feet, spreading the toes. Breathing deep breaths into the back, relaxing the jaw and the neck. And then let's just generate a little bit of warmth at this dark time of the year. So looking forward, we're going to lift the left knee and bring it towards the left elbow. And then send it back into downward dog. And then same on the other side. Try to do this with the breath. Maybe inhale forward, exhale back, or exhale forward, inhale back. It doesn't really matter. And just swapping sides. We're going to do 5 on each side. Again, with the breath. If it all gets too much, stop in your own time. Maybe take child's pose, but otherwise, with the breath, back and forth, elbow towards or knee towards elbow. Feeling again, putting your awareness in your deep core muscles, how they're working for you here, as well as the more superficial muscles in the arm and the legs. When you've done 5 on each side, we'll just drop down to child's pose for a moment. You could take the knees wide or keep them together, your choice. Just take a few breaths. And then again, coming up, this time staying on your forearms. So we're going to have another go at just building a little bit of heat with forearm planks. So just take one leg out, take the other leg out, drop the hips in line with the rest of the body. And we're going to stay here for about 5 breaths, pushing down through the forearms, the wrists, the elbows, lifting the belly up to the spine. If it gets too much at any point, come down, bring the knees down. Otherwise, we've got maybe a couple of breaths left. Try to let the breast be full and expansive. Strong legs, feel like you're squeezing a block between the thighs. And then lower the hips down towards the floor and just open up into a sphinx here. So we've got the elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms parallel, drawing the shoulders back, opening up the front of the chest. And if you want to go into a deeper back bend, you could turn the hands out slightly and lift up higher, or even walk the hands towards you more, but just coming to wherever is your comfortable edge here, not going past your pain-free edge, and drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Couple more breaths. Try to keep the fingertips anchored and the thumb tip. And then exhaling, lowering down. We're going to come into the locust, bring the forehead down, bring the hands to the side. Inhale, lift everything up, the feet, the head, the hands, the arms. Keep the gaze to the floor in front of you. Try to keep the big toes touching or moving towards each other. And try to open the soles of the feet to the ceiling rather than closing them towards each other. Breathing. Exhale, release. Just take the hands underneath the chest. Inhale, either up to upward dog or a cobra again. And exhale back to downward dog. Just take a couple of breaths in downward dog. And then at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump. Feet to the hands, feet parallel underneath the hips. Padagustasana. So take the first 2 fingers and the thumb around the big toe, bending the knees if you need. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing down through the big toes. Press into the fingers. Shoulders lifting up towards the waist, away from the ears, so the neck is free. Where is your attention? Is it in a shopping list? Is it external? Or can we bring it into the breath, the sensations in the body? Inhale, straighten the arms, looking up. Exhale, Padahastasana. So one at a time, lift up the feet, slide the palms underneath the soles of the feet, bend the knees again as much as you need to make that contact, and drop the head. Pressing through the balls of the feet into the hands, but keep some weight in the heels as well, so you don't feel like you're going to topple forwards. Again, shoulders lifting up away from the ears. And then inhale, look up. One at a time, release the hands, bring the hands to the hips, bend the knees deep, stand yourself up, coming up with a flat back, and come up to the front of your mat. And the feet together. So we're just going to do a few flows with variations in them. Okay, so just connect to your breath. Let's just take another moment of stillness. Coming inwards, really feel your breath in your body and feel your whole body involved in this Tadasana posture. So we're not just hanging out here. We've got awareness in our feet, our legs, our core, our arms, our fingers. We kind of know what each part of the body's doing here. Everything active and awake and alive. As your next inhale comes, use it to raise the hands, looking up to the palms. Exhale, forward fold, bending the knees if you need, drop the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the left foot back, not too far, and we're going to open straight up into triangle here. So right hand will probably need to slide up that right leg, maybe, and left arm reaches up, and we're looking up to that top hand. Legs are straight as we're able to make them here. Trying to keep the chest open towards the front rather than closing down towards the floor. And then for the last few breaths, just bring that left upper arm close to the ear and the palm facing the floor. So we draw a straight line, more or less, from the left hip to the left fingertips. Again, feeling that sense of the side body opening here. Strong legs, active feet. Inhale, bring that left hand up, turn to face the front, bend that right knee to bring the hands down. You can come straight to downward dog if you wish, otherwise we're coming through plank. We're exhaling to lower using the knees if you wish. Inhaling to a back bend, exhaling to downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths between sides. This time we're going to turn the right heel in and the toes out and step the left foot forward. If that doesn't work for you, come to the knees and do it in your own way, but the left foot comes forward and again, opening out to Trikonasana on the other side. So we've now got our left hand on our left leg, right hand up to the ceiling, looking up to the right hand, trying to straighten the legs. Draw the tailbone under, draw the belly in, the lower belly in. And for the last few breaths, again, feel that long straight line. So really keep full extension in the arm as you bring the right upper arm close to the ear and you reach forward through the fingertips, pointing the hip in the opposite direction. Breathing into the right side body. And then inhale, take the right hand up, turn to the front, bend that left leg, plant the hands, straight to downward dog or child's pose, otherwise back to plank as you inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Inhale into upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And this time we're going to pause in downward dog for a few breaths. So activate your hands and your feet, dynamic, active foundations. Staying connected to your breath. Again, with this internal awareness, it's like we can be fully conscious in our bodies. In each posture, we're conscious of all the different parts of the body working together. Really inhabit each posture fully. At the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump the feet to the hands. Use an inhale to look up and lengthen the spine. Exhale, dropping the head. Inhale, press through the feet. Keep some awareness and consciousness in the feet as you raise the hands, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. And again, inhale, taking it up. Exhale, forward fold, dropping the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen. This time we're going to step the right foot back quite far with the heel in, toes out. Bend the left knee and come up to warrior two. So we're facing the long edge of the mat. Your left knee is above or behind your left ankle. Look over your left middle finger, reaching back dynamically through the right fingertips as well. Deepening the breath. And then change this to reverse warrior. Try not to move the left leg as you take the right hand onto the right leg and reach the left hand back. Again, opening the side body again. And the left side. We've got a bit of a theme here with the side bodies opening.
Inhale back up to warrior two. Pause for a breath. And then on your exhale, bring the left elbow to the left thigh, bring the right upper arm up and over, or maybe we bring the left hand to the floor or a block. But either way, right upper arm is close to the ear, palm faces the floor. And we're looking for that side opening again on the right side now. From the right ankle to the right fingertips. Looking up to the right hand, if available, to open the chest to the ceiling. And then turn to the front, bring the right hand down. Again, come straight to downward dog or child's pose or plank. Use an exhale to lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward. Taking a couple of breaths between sides. And then this time we're going to turn the left foot in, so heel in, toes out, and step or come to your knees and bring your right foot forward between the hands, bending the knee on that right leg, sealing the little toe edge of the left foot down as we come up to warrior two, looking over the middle finger of your right hand. Staying, keeping some consciousness and awareness in the left arm as well. So really this is what it's all about in yoga, is expanding and developing our consciousness, starting through the asanas with becoming more and more conscious of our inner landscape, our body, and each of these shapes we move into. Awakening ourselves fully. And then reverse warrior, left hand to left leg, reaching the right hand up and maybe back. Keep lunging into that right leg. Keep that bend on the left, the right knee. And then inhale back up to warrior two. Pause for a breath. And on your next exhale, bring right elbow to right thigh and left upper arm over, so it's close to the ear, or we bring the right hand down to the floor and drop the left hip to create that long line. Either way, looking up to the left hand, rolling the chest open to the ceiling. And then turning to the floor, bring the left hand down, pivoting on the back foot, plant the hands back to downward dog or childhood or child's pose, or move through the plank, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling downward dog. And taking a few breaths here in downward dog. Remember your alternatives, the tabletop or child's pose. Deep breaths. And at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump the feet to the hands. Inhale, look up, and exhale, fold. Rest through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands high. Exhale, hands to the side. And we'll just do one more round. So just taking a couple of breaths here, just enjoying those little micro pauses, mini pauses of stillness to come back inwards, to connect with your breath, connect with the soles of your feet, interfacing with the earth. And then on your next inhale, raising the hands, looking up, exhale, forward fold, dropping the head. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back to the plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Take a couple of breaths. And we're going to bring our right foot forward, so come onto the knees if you need, and then we're going to pivot to the left, so turn your right toes kind of to the left, so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Inhale, look up with the arms straight, and exhale, take a forward fold. So your feet should be parallel, all 10 toes pointing forward, outer edges of the feet parallel. Dropping the head, relaxing the back of the neck, strong legs, pressing down through the feet, but lifting up through the inner seam of the legs, all the way up to the pelvic floor and deep core muscles. And then from here, we're going to just straighten the arms and look up and walk the hands over to the left leg. And just hold what you can here. Maybe it's going to be the ankle or the foot, or maybe it's the shin or the calf. But either way, we inhale, straighten the arms and look up, and then exhale, kind of draw ourselves in towards this left leg. And as we do this, as we lean to the left, see if you can keep just the same amount of consciousness and awareness in the right leg and the right foot. Don't forget about that side. So you're actively pressing down through the right foot as well. Dropping the head towards that left leg. Now stay over to the left and use your right hand to hold on to the outside of the left leg or foot or ankle or whatever you've got, and walk the left fingertips forwards in line with the shoulder. So just walking them straight out in front of you. And then we kind of pull on the outside of the left leg and twist in the spine to look up underneath our left shoulder. This doesn't work for you, just skip this one, come up. And then untwisting the spine, bringing the hands down in front. Inhale, look up with the arms straight, and exhale, walk over to the right leg with the hands. Now we're holding whatever we can on the right leg or foot or ankle. Inhale, look up with straight arms. Exhale, draw yourself towards the right leg. So your head, the forehead's moving towards the right leg, dropping the head. So we feel this is a kind of a side opener a little bit. Don't forget about your left leg. Keeping our consciousness in our body, in all parts of our body, staying internal. And then take your left hand to the outside of the right leg. So you can kind of almost pull on the right ankle or leg. Walk the fingertips of the right hand as far forward as possible in line with the right shoulder. And then we gently pull on the outside of the right leg to develop this twist in the spine as we look up underneath our right shoulder. So your left elbow will be more bent now. This does not make sense, don't worry. Just skip this one. And then unwind, untwist the spine, bring the hands back in front of you, really activate the legs and the feet as you bring the hands to the hips, and then inhale, come up, turn back to the front, plant the hands down, come through to either straight to downward dog or child's pose, or, and one more vinyasa, plank, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling downward dog, and we're going to pause in downward dog, child's pose, or tabletop for just a few more breaths here. And then dropping down to child's pose, your choice again, knees together or knees wide. Just bring the forehead to the floor, maybe bringing the hands back towards the feet, letting the shoulders drop. And just again, taking that moment after the kind of more movement, the flow, to drop into that stillness. That pre-solstice darkness, the darkest time of the year. The best time to get introspective, reflective. And we'll just complete this last vinyasa. So when you're ready, taking the hands forward, returning to downward dog. And then at the end of the exhale, looking forward, walking or stepping or jumping the feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, palms touch. Exhale, just slide the hands down the center of the body. So we're back in that Anjali Mudra, palms touching at the center of the chest. Close the eyes. Just acknowledging yourself, your practice, your body, this gesture of gratitude. The year that passed has brought you to this moment. And we can bless this moment. And then releasing the hands to the side. Just taking the feet about mat distance apart. We're coming down by a Malasana squat. So bringing the hands, keeping them at Anjali Mudra at the chest. Start to bend the knees. Start to let the hips sink down, possibly all the way down towards the heels, maybe staying higher. But just keeping the hands in this mudra, in this variation today, unless we need the hands on the floor for support. So using your elbows to press the inner thighs wide, lifting up through the spine, maybe exploring coming into postures and consciously closing the eyes as a way of drawing our awareness inwards. Pratyahara, sense withdrawal, where we are no longer swayed by the external stimuli drawing on our five senses. Instead, our awareness is now internal. Our inner landscape. And then when you're ready, just let the hips come down. Use your hands behind you to support you. Come down to seated and extend the legs out in front of you. We'll come into some forward folds to help us with this more introspective energy of this time of year. So with the legs active and the feet flexed, inhale, raising the arms, exhale, folding forward, bending the knees if you need, dropping the head, just holding whatever is comfortable, the legs, the ankles, maybe the feet. But really drop the head so the chin kind of almost moves towards the chest. So we're either got the eyes closed or we're almost looking towards our navel gazing. Legs stay active. Relax the shoulders and the face. And then inhale, coming up. We're going to do a series of forward folds. So for those of you who have lotus or half lotus, you're going to seal the right knee joint fully and swing that leg in. So it's coming from the hip, and to bring the right foot as high up the left thigh as possible, and then the right knee drops. If this creates any pain in the right knee, then this isn't for you. Just come to Janu Shirshasana, bring the sole of the foot to the inner left thigh, which is preparing us for half lotus. Okay, so either half lotus or Janu Shirshasana. If you're in half lotus, you could also see if you could take the right hand around the back, and you may find your right foot with your right hand. You may use a strap around that right foot and hold the strap if you're not quite there. And then the left hand comes to the left foot, and we inhale, lift up, exhale, fold. And if you're in Janu Shirshasana, you don't have to worry about any of that. You've just got both hands on your left leg or foot, inhaling, exhaling, folding. Listening to your body, doing the appropriate variation for you. The left leg stays active, toes towards the ceiling, dropping the head. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, release. Swap sides. Right leg extends. So if you know half lotus isn't for you, bring the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Otherwise, seal that left knee joint fully. Swing the hip round, knee forward to bring the foot as high up the right thigh as possible. Maybe find the bind, right hand to right leg or foot. Everybody inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. If you're in half lotus and the forward folding puts too much pressure on your knee, then skip the forward fold, just stay upright, or Janu Shirshasana forward fold. Relax your jaw, drop the head, keep the right leg active, toes to the ceiling. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Massage the knee joint if you need. So another potentially slightly peculiar or inaccessible forward fold. We're just trying a few different ones today. Triangle mukha ekapada. So we lean to the left and we fold the right knee all the way back now so that the sole of the right foot faces up towards the ceiling on the outside of the hip and the knees are more or less together. So again, this might not be accessible for everybody, and your alternative is our favorite posture, Jani Shirshasana, sole of the foot to the inner thigh again. Okay, so Jani Shirshasana is a wonderful preparatory posture for all these more complex postures. So just keep doing that one, and you still get the forward fold, which is really what this is all about. Okay, so otherwise, wherever we're at, we're going to inhale, lift up, exhale, forward fold, hand comes to leg or foot. Inhale, extend, exhale, drop the head. If you are in triangle mukha ekapada, Paschimottanasana, the folded leg version, and you feel like you're dropping over to the left, use your left hand out to the left as a stabilizer to roll you back to the center. Pay attention to your right knee. Again, if it's painful, Jani Shirshasana. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lean to the left. Unfold the right knee. If you've been in the folded version, massage the knee. Other side, so Jani Shirshasana, or leaning to the right, we fold the left knee and the left foot is to the outside of the left hip. So we're sitting on the floor, or you could be elevated on a block, but the sole of the left foot faces up towards the ceiling. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold, taking hold of the leg, the ankle, the foot. Inhale, extend. Exhale, drop the head. Again, your right hand could be your stabilizer here, just pushing through it to bring you back to the center line. Right leg is active, whichever leg position you're in. Toes up to the ceiling. Maybe closing the eyes, encouraging pratyahara. How aware and conscious can we be in our entire body? And there's no limit to how deeply we can become aware of our body. It just gets more and more subtle, more expansive. Our inner landscape expands. Inhale, coming up, lean to the right if you're in the folded leg version, extend, massage the knee. Now we're all going to come to Jani Shirshasana, so if this is your third time, wonderful, such a good posture. So bringing the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh, inhale, stretch up, exhale, forward fold. If you have been doing Jani Shirshasana for all of these and you want a variation here, you could take your right hand to the outside of the left foot or leg and the left hand all the way out to the left. Inhale, extend, and exhale, come down with your chin to the outside of the left leg. So then you're going to stretch more into this side body again and this right side of the lower back. So that's just there as an option for those who perhaps have been doing Jani Shirshasana for the last 3 rounds. And then inhale, look up. If you have gone to the side, come back to face forward first, and then bring yourself up. And swap sides. Right leg extends, sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh, knee out to the side. So remember, you've got this kind of twisted variation if you wish. But otherwise, we're inhaling, stretching up, exhale, coming forward, either straight forward or left hand to the outside of the right leg, right hand out to the side, dropping the chin to the outside of the knee. Otherwise, just straight forward. Keeping both feet flexed in this posture. Closing the eyes or We don't need to close the eyes for Pratyahara, but it can assist because it closes off our primary sense of perception, our eyes, for most of us. Looking up, exhale, coming back. Just bring your right foot to join your left foot. Full Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, hands holding the outside of the feet. Inhale, lift up, and because we're working with forward folds, if you wish, we come into a forward folding version. So keeping the elbows in, taking the chest forward, and it's not going to be very far, not like the other postures, but just a little bit of a forward fold, maybe closing the eyes. If it's too much for your groin to come forward, just stay vertical. Posture. Inhale, look up. If you've walked the hands forward, bringing them back, bringing yourself back up to vertical. And then again, we're going to do one more forward fold here. So extending the left leg. And we're going to bring the right heel, I'll face you, the right heel all the way back to the buttock, but with a little gap between the foot and the thigh. So you've got about a handspan gap between your right foot and your left thigh. So again, this is a slightly peculiar one. We lean to the left, lean into your left hand, reach up through the right side, and then we're going to reach forward, but our right arm's inside our right leg. And then we may be able to wrap. So we then take the right hand out to the side. If your elbow's free, you may be able to take it behind you and pick up the left hand and find the left hand with the right hand. So we're kind of hugging our right shin or right folded leg. And then we inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. If that's not available, we just keep the hands outside. Again, if I face you, and fold forward here. Okay, so we're either wrapped or out to the side. Either way, it's a forward fold, so we're dropping the chest towards that left leg. Try to keep the sole of the right foot firmly glued to the floor and keep active in the left leg, toes to the ceiling. Inhale, look up. Just going to add one more challenge here. If you're bound, you can do this bound. If you're unbound, you can do it unbound. We're going to lean back and see if we can use the left hip flexor muscle to lift the left leg. At the same time, try to lift out of the lower back. So we're trying not to round in the lower back. We're challenging our hip muscles, hip flexor muscle. Feel your deep core muscles stabilizing you here. And then release that left leg. Coming back, release the right leg. If you need to just do a little counter stretch, take both hands back and take a little arch into the lower back here, just for a couple of breaths between sides. And then we'll go to the other side. And if that final little challenge was just too much for you, that's fine. It's quite involved, so just skip that bit. Okay, so we've got the right leg extended. We're bringing the left heel all the way back, but we've got that handspan gap between the left foot and the right thigh. Lean to the right slightly so that we can really get long through that left side body, and then come forward and low. So reach as far as you can forward, as getting as low as you can, and then take that left hand out to the side. If your elbow is free, if it's beyond the left shin, then you'll be able to bend the left elbow, maybe take the left hand behind you, pick up the right hand, and you might find the bind, or if you've got a strap, you could hold the strap. Otherwise, fingertips are on the floor, either side. Inhale, extending, exhale, folding. Pressing down through the left sole of the foot, keeping the right leg active and alive. Marichyasana, A. Not one we do very often. Dropping the head. And then skip this one if you know it's too much for you. Otherwise, whether you're bound or unbound, we lean back till that left foot's off the floor, and we lean back and use our hip flexor muscle to lift the right leg up, and then we try and lift up through the lower back, opening the chest up to the ceiling. So it's kind of like the boat, but with one leg doing something else. And you feel the right hip flexor and thigh muscle working here. Feel your deep core stabilizing muscles holding this all together deep in your body. And then lower your right leg, lower your left foot, release the bind if you have the bind. And again, just extend the left leg forward, take the hands behind you, and just take a little arch in the lower back, just a decompression or a recompression actually after that big stretch. And then bring yourself up to vertical. I'm just going to check the time. Okay, we'll come down onto our backs. So let's just come down onto our backs. That was kind of like our core work. So let's just lie down on the floor, bend the knees, come into the constructive rest posture. So feet wide, inner knees touching, and take the hands onto the belly. We're just going to take that moment of stillness again after a few unusual, peculiar postures that we don't do often. Just notice what's arising within you. Maybe some storylines in the mind, some thought loops, some judgments, maybe some emotions. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some interesting physical sensations going on. Just tracking those. Internal awareness. The more we go internal, the more we expand. Seems counterintuitive. But we go in, we spiral in to spiral and expand out. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into our back bends. If you are tired, feel free to take a restorative back bend on a block or on a bolster under the sacrum. Otherwise, we're going to do a couple of back bends here. First, we'll do the bridge, the supported bridge. So feet pressed down, hands pressed down by the outer hips, lift the hips, draw the shoulders underneath you, interlace the fingers, or just keep pressing the palms down. And just really feel, again, that sense of the consciousness traveling through the whole body. So feel your feet pressing down actively, as parallel as we can sense them to be. Feel your legs working hard, your thigh muscles strong here, working. Feel your buttock muscles contracting, but see if you can relax your buttock muscles as best you can without losing the work of the thighs. Feel your belly muscles stretching, your chest muscles opening, especially with the breath. Feel your arm muscles working as you press down into the floor with the wrists, with the elbows, the upper arms. Whole body working together. And then to come out, release the bind, wind the spine down from the upper back to the lower back, vertebra by vertebra. Placing the sacrum down. I'll just take a couple of breaths between rounds. If one's enough, just come back into the constructive rest posture. Otherwise, one more back bend, and if you want to work with the wheel in this one, you're very welcome. So either repeat what we just did or bring your hands underneath the shoulders with your fingertips pointing towards your feet. Press through the hands and the feet, come onto the top of the head. And then either stay there or push all the way up for the wheel. Otherwise, the supported bridge again. But whichever you choose, feel that full body consciousness, internal awareness, from the feet through the legs to the torso, the hands, the arms, and of course the breath. Now when it's time to come down, if you're up in the wheel, tuck the chin in, slowly wind the spine down, upper back to lower back. And then this time, make sure you move the shoulders all the way back to the top of the mat. Take the feet forward, either constructive rest or if you prefer, just knees pointing up to the ceiling. But the knees are bent and we just allow ourselves to reground, recenter after the back bends. Heart rate settles, nervous system settles. And then stretching the legs up to the ceiling, reach the arms overhead, find that capital L shape here with the feet flexed, toes spreading, breathing into the spine. And then bend the knees into the chest, take the hands forward, give yourself a hug. Again, intuit what feels best here, stillness or slight movement. But whatever you choose, try to have the inner thighs touching, pressing towards each other to really help open the sacrum. Breathe into the lower back. And then let's take an inversion here. So if you want to take your legs up the wall, or even just lift the hips, take the hands under the buttocks and extend the legs up to the ceiling in the center of the room, feel free. Otherwise, you've got options of shoulder stand or headstand. So choose your inversion and just choose something that's comfortable for you, that's well within your capacity, that's in your practice. This isn't about super challenging us here. This is about going upside down, changing our energy pattern, changing our perspective, sending blood towards the heart and the head. Trying to take at least 10 slow, deep breaths in your chosen inversion. But coming out when you need. If you're at the wall, buttocks are touching the wall or very close. When you are ready to come out with control. You're in shoulder stand, maybe via the plow. Rolling yourself out. If you've been in headstand, take a few breaths in child's pose. If you've been in shoulder stand, take a few breaths in the fish, propping yourself up onto your elbows with the hands, clasping the outer hips, lifting the chest, dropping the head back. If you've been legs up the wall, you can just draw the knees into the chest, roll to one side, and make your way back to the center of the room. And if you've been in fish, just gently, carefully drawing the chin back to the chest, walking the elbows out, coming down to your back. And just before we drop into Shavasana, we're just going to come up to seated again, just for a moment. So just nice and slowly, maybe rolling to one side. Just press yourself back up to a seated position, just for a couple of minutes here, or a minute or so. And I just want us to drop back into that reflection. So we kind of dived into the past cycle. So moving into the next cycle that's coming. So again, just closing the eyes, bearing in mind what arose for you when you reflected upon the year that's passed, the difficult things, the challenges, the opportunities, the wonderful things, and most of all, the growth and the learnings and the teachings, and how we transformed ourselves and expanded ourselves and grew from the challenges. And then thinking to the year cycle that's going to start soon. What do we want to bring in for this year? Perhaps a particular quality in ourselves. Perhaps something very practical, a new job, a new relationship, a new home. Perhaps a healing of a relationship is required. Whatever arises in this moment, just again allowing it to just swirl all around you. These are the seeds that we're planting for the new year. And this is the most powerful time of year to do this kind of work around the solstice. And again, just feeling all these seeds swirling around you. Just bring your palms together at the center of the chest, bowing your head towards your hands again, in gratitude to the gift of life and a blessing this moment, this intention setting that we're doing, which can be very powerful, especially when it's amidst a yoga practice like this, when we're really in our bodies. And then just letting it all go, just giving all that up to the universe. We don't need to worry about it now. We've set our intentions. Just slowly come back to lie on the floor. And we're ready for Shavasana. If you feel that you just need to bring the knees into the chest or take a happy baby or anything, then just do what you need. But as soon as you're ready, let's just come to our Shavasana to end the class as we started and just really integrate the work we've done this evening. So coming to stillness, coming to heaviness, and letting this be a receiving posture where we open, we surrender the body to the floor, and we open to receive. We open to receive all the good that's coming our way, all the fruits from our practice. And as always, if you wish to stay in Shavasana longer, please do. If you'd like to close with me, deepening the breath.
Starting to move the fingers and the toes, taking any stretches that feel good. And just gradually, in your own time, returning to seated. And then just one more time to close. Let's just bring our hands back to Anjali Mudra, which means gratitude, and it's also honoring. It's the Namaste Mudra. The divine in me honors the divine in you. So just connecting inwards one more time to the divinity that lies within you, knowing that that's in each and every one of us. This infinite soul, spirit, encased in a human body, connecting into that part of you. And knowing that that's mirrored and reflected in every other being around us. And taking everything we've done this evening, our intentions, our work within our bodies, just taking that forward with us into our evening and into the next cycle ahead, the yearly cycle. And when you feel complete with that, just opening the eyes again. Namaste. And thank you for practicing this evening, and see you next year.